What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over this horrendous NBA slate as well as some player props. So we're about to lock in some plays live. We have completely swept the board in our last two videos on the player props, looking at the plays that we've actually locked in. We had these two slips we locked in, Brunson, Murray, and Murphy yesterday on the free video. That one cashed. Then we also had Brandon Ingram with Kawhi Leonard, which cashed us as well. So we had a very, very good day yesterday in terms of the free picks. We did hit this little slip right here, which is Texas A&M, and then we hit the only play we played on Prizepicks. Yesterday was a very light day. I will say that. I don't think we posted but maybe one sleeper slip that missed. I'm not 100%. The only three that I played were these three. I played the Prizepick slip, these two parlay play slips, and then I ended up playing two money lines. So let's talk about our money lines real quick, and then we'll go ahead and pick a winner from yesterday's video for free VIP. So the bet tracker, I lost $750 on my money lines yesterday. I went full idiot mode. These are the two slips I locked in yesterday. I had Rockets and Spurs parlay and then Kings money line. So let's talk about the Spurs. Yesterday when I made the video, the Spurs were plus money. I told you guys I liked the Spurs to win, and I thought they were going to play. I waited to get news about Stephon Castle to see if he was going to play, to see if I could get some better, like some type of better read on the game or whatever, because it was OKC. It was going to be a tough game, I thought. And I was like, maybe if Castle doesn't play, I go OKC. I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure I want to run the Spurs. And we talked about that game in the video. Spurs for plus money. Well, right before I locked in the Spurs, about 10 minutes prior to me going to lock in this slip, the entire starting five for OKC are ruled out. And the Spurs end up going from plus 110 or whatever they are to minus 450. So didn't get to lock the Spurs in. So I played the Spurs with the Rockets. The Rockets were playing against a Jaylen Brownless Celtics team in Houston. And the Rockets at home had an 81% win rate. So that team has been so dominant at home. They had KD back. They looked good. The Celtics without Jaylen Brown, I kind of thought the Rockets would be able to get a win. So I put 2 units on this game, $500. Now, if you guys can go ahead and see the rest of these bets, how many times do you see $500? For the Patriots game, you saw $1,250. But other than that, you see $250 max on every single one of these plays. So I went full idiot mode. I decided to play 2 units on a play. It bit me. The Rockets got beat by the Celtics. The Spurs still won, but it cost me $500, which is 2 units. Then I put 1 unit on the Kings. The Kings got beat by 4 points. It was a competitive game. That was one of the games I was going to take anyway. And the Kings ended up getting beat. It is what it is. So yesterday on our money lines, did not do very good. For the month, I think we're down slightly. That'll be, what, 780 and then 6 something. So I'm down a couple $100 or a little less than a unit on the month. Overall, since the beginning of December, still up $13,554 on these money lines. So we've still been crushing them. Hopefully we can continue to do that. Yesterday was one of those days where if I should have tailed the college basketball slip, my dad had a nice win on college basketball here with A&M. If I would have played that, I could have got some of my money back, but I didn't. So unfortunately, that didn't help me out. But anyways, guys, free picks have been freaking crushing it. We're 9-0 in the last 2 days on these free picks. I know a lot of these are goblin lines. I'm not trying to keep a record. That's why you guys don't see me put the record in the title anymore like I used to, because I play so many goblins now. It's easy to run up a number. Now, in this video, you are going to see 9-0 sweep. And I'm only doing that just to see how the video performs. It's just literally just a test to see how it performs versus the way I've been doing it. If it gets significantly more views, then maybe I continue to do it. But probably not going to happen just because I feel like it is a little bit misleading, and I'm not trying to mislead the public on this. So that being said, let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. So you guys know how this works. If today's video gets 250 likes, I will select a random comment down from the comments to win a free month of our VIP. So drop a like. Leave a comment if you're new to the channel. You do need to be a subscriber to win, so make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. We're over 41K subs. Pushing 50K. 50K is a massive, massive goal of mine. I would love to hit that as soon as possible, and I appreciate the ones who are helping me make this happen. But anyways, picking our winner for yesterday. Winner is going to be for Wooten Ray, who said, "Get that bread, dude." Well, Send me a message, Ray. I appreciate the support in the comment, man. Send me a message on Discord. I will get you added for that free month of VIP. Hopefully you tailed the free picks yesterday with that nice sweep and you made yourself a little bit as well. But like I said, send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for the free month. And once again, I appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. If you guys do want to get every single slip that I personally run, you can join our Discord. The Discord itself is free to join. Links down in the description. If you guys do want to get all the plays that I run it's myself personally, posted by me, then all you have to do is join our VIP, which is $10 a week, $25 a month, and you can get 20% off using code NBA if you're new. So anyways, that option is there if you want to. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. Let's go ahead and talk about these games because we got a slate that can be kind of hard to read. Now, I want you guys to bear with me and bear with anybody else you follow on these picks because there has been so many trades in the last 2 days. These teams have so many new players. These teams are sitting their starters and giving them random minutes because of All-Star break. These teams are doing so many different things. It is very difficult to get a read sometimes at the beginning of February. And I've told you guys this. February is usually one of the hardest months to sports bet on for me personally. In my history of sports betting, I've got almost 10 years of experience of doing this and of doing this and posting plays. So I've been doing it longer than that myself, or a little bit longer than that, not much longer. But anyways, it gets tough in February. So if somebody has figured out February and it's super easy for them, maybe they can help me out here. But February is tough to get calls on. And you're going to see teams with a lot of new players, a lot of new faces that are questionable. If these players play in these games today, which there is potential that some of these trades do play tonight. And if that happens, then you don't know how they're going to be added to the starting lineup. If they're a starter, then how much usage are they going to take away from the star players that you're used to playing? An example like Cooper Flagg or something, how much is it going to take anything away from his usage? Is he going to score less tonight? Because, you know what I'm saying? That's just an example, but just throwing that out there. So be weary about the plays. If you don't like anything, just don't tell it. But let's talk about these first games. They're kind of ugly, man. We got Orlando taking on the Nets. The Magic are minus 400, 10.5 spread, 214 total. Very low-scoring game. Not a game that I love to target. Obviously, the only player on this game that I really want to touch is going to be our man Michael Porter Jr. Pause on what I just said, but the only one that I would play would be Michael Porter Jr. MPJ has been a wagon. You know I'll play him every single game. He's cashed me probably 25 of 30 times I've ran him this season. He's made me so much money this season that I will continue to play him until I have a reason not to. And right now I have no reason not to play him because he's just been consistent, man. He's so consistent. He will get 20-plus shots per game majority of games. He's a ball hog. He can make his shots the majority of the time. The volume is going to be there, even if they're getting beat. Like, he's the guy that's going to be shooting and scoring. So, no Cam Thomas tonight either, out for personal reasons. Looking on the Orlando side of things, they're missing Castleton and Wagner still, but nothing really major in terms of injury news for these teams. I'm hoping the game stays competitive. It is in Orlando. The Magic should win this game, but the Magic have been looking terrible. They have not looked good. Obviously, the Nets don't look good either, but I think this game could be competitive. It could get ugly as well. This game's one of those, there's definitely blowout potential. It has a 10.5 spread for a reason. And the winner of this game, give me the Magic. I don't think the Nets are definitely live dogs. If you think the Nets win for plus 400, you can 100% run them for like a quarter of a unit or something, maybe win you a unit off of it. But I wouldn't play big money on the Nets because majority, or most likely, the Magic are going to end up beating them tonight. Right now, most of the money is going to be on the Magic, 58% on the Nets covering the spread. I do like the Nets spread. I think that's got some potential there as well. But it's up to you guys what you want to run for that. Michael Porter Jr. is the play that I'm looking at from this game. Second game on the slate, this one's as ugly as it gets. This is a game you can't touch. You can't touch this game until you find out injury news. Look at this Washington team. This Washington team is completely different than they were a day and a half ago. Anthony Davis is now for the Wizards. They have Trae Young. They have D'Lo. We have so many players that are on this team. This team could be good next season. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy, if Trae Young can stay healthy, they have a decent team. Sarr's been playing well. Keyshawn George can do well. They have a decent enough lineup to where I could legitimately see this team having success next season. So this season right now, D'Lo is questionable. Jaden Hardy, questionable. No AD, obviously. No Cam Whitmore. No Trae Young. No Trey Johnson. Starting five pretty much there for the most part. Detroit, Cade Cunningham questionable. Tobias Harris questionable. Kevin Huerter is questionable. Jenkins out. Sark is out. Tolu Smith is out. So lots of injuries to look for on the Detroit side of things, but you got to pay attention to. If Tobias or Cade or somebody gets ruled out, then obviously you can get a better line for the Pistons if you took the Pistons. The Wizards plus 700. Yeah, do I think they beat the Pistons? Probably not, because I don't think all three of these players are going to sit on the Pistons side of things. And if any of them play, then they're probably just going to win the game outright anyway. But this Wizards team has been looking a lot better. They've been playing better basketball than they were at the beginning of the season. You can see, well, they have some stretches where they play good, but you can see they started the season off. They couldn't get a win to save their lives. Lately, they've won 3 of their last 5. They've been playing decent. They beat some okay teams, but regardless, I don't want to touch this game until I see what happens with these players. So Wizards, a lot of potential coming into the next season. I do think that, and I think the trade has actually. I think this trade's been good for the Wizards. The Wizards have a decent looking lineup, in my personal opinion. So I think they've come out on top. I think they've made some good trades, and I think that even though they have some injury-prone players, they do have a lot of potential to have a nice run next year, in my personal opinion. Next game is going to be the Hawks taking on the Jazz. The Hawks are minus 335 favorites at home, 9.5 spread, 243.5 total. So this is one of those games to where if we can get lucky enough for this game to stay competitive, this can be a player prop gold mine, and you have to understand that. Now, these games I love to look at when you have a 243.5 total, and it's two teams that play no defense. They're fast-paced. They got a lot of good scorers. Like there's a lot of different moves you can make on games like this, which can help you. Now, if the game ends up being a 90-90 game or 90-95 game, it's like a 180 total. It can completely kill you because lines will be elevated on games like this slightly. So if you don't think the game's going to be a high-scoring game, you might as well just play the unders because you're going to get better value on the unders. So always remember that well. Always pay attention to what these games are predicted at for the totals and then go based off of what you think is going to happen. So for me, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Most of the money is going to be on the Hawks in terms of money line. Most of the money is going to be on the Jazz covering a spread. Now, this is another team or another game we have to pay attention to injury news. Looking at the Jazz, they are missing Keontae George, and any of this can change till tip-off. Remember that. So Keontae George is out. Harkless is out. Jaren Jackson Jr. They have Jaren Jackson. They have a big starting 5. This team has like 4 7-foot players almost. So I mean, I might be exaggerating slightly, but anyways, Jaren Jackson Jr. obviously not going to be playing this one. They're missing Kessler. Concara out. Kevin Love questionable. Vince Williams not playing. So a lot of players that are missing. They do have Nurkic. They do have Markkanen, Ace Bailey, and Isaiah Collier. So this team, Collier, 20-something assists last game, played 48 minutes. You can expect big minutes from him again, most likely. So remember that. You never know. Like Collier, we can click here. I'm just going to click his PRA. We can look at his PRA. I know he had 20 assists last game. Last 5, 22 assists, 5 rebounds, 17 points. Bro played 48 minutes. He played the entire game. What are the chances he plays the full game again? I don't think he does, but I'm just saying that. I mean, they were missing so many players. But still, man, you never know what kind of usage he's going to get. So that could be a good look. Markkanen is obviously going to be their lead scorer. That's the guy I'm looking at. He's going to put up 20-something field goal attempts per game. Don't have to worry about that. Atlanta, they are missing Buddy Hield, which they just picked up. They picked up Kuminga, who's not going to be playing. They picked up Jack Landale, who is questionable today. He has potential to play. They have Okongwu, who is questionable, and then Reith out for the season. So a lot of players that are potentially, or a couple players that's potentially playing. Starting 5 not looking horrendous. Obviously, they traded Porzingis. No longer have Porzingis. Porzingis is playing for Golden State. Golden State expecting to get Giannis, end up with Porzingis. I'm not a Porzingis hater. When Porzingis plays and when Porzingis is healthy, Porzingis can score, man. He can score. So I like Porzingis in that aspect. He's good to bet on a lot for points. But in terms of helping Golden State, I don't know that Golden State's team is that much better just because they have Porzingis. So I'm not sure how that trade affects them too much. But I can't remember exactly everything Golden State got in that trade. They may have got draft picks. I'm not really sure. Maybe they lost draft picks. I don't know. But anyways, I know they did pick up Porzingis, so that is there. In terms of winning this game, I think this game's competitive. I think Atlanta wins at home. I think they're the better team. The Jazz have had their ups and downs. They've had some good games. They've had some bad games. They're just dealing with too many players out. So the Jazz, any team is a live dog. Remember that. Any team is a live dog. So in games like this, you could lock in the Bulls at plus 300, and then everybody get ruled out for Toronto, and then the Bulls end up being favorites, and you got them at plus 300. So that can happen in any game. So just know that. Jazz plus 330, not something I'm personally going to play. I like Atlanta today to win this game, but I do think it's going to be a good game for player props, and I'm cool with locking some props in from that one. Next game is going to be the Raptors versus the Bulls. The Raptors are on a back-to-back. They are minus 300 favorites at home, 8.5 spread, 225.5 total, around a 50-50 split on where the money is at on this game. When you look at these two teams, the Bulls are coming off of 2 losses in a row. They have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Now, I told you the Bulls are one of those teams that are streaky. Huge loss streak, huge win streak. Loss streak, couple wins, couple losses, win streak, loss streak, win streak, loss streak, win streak. They are a very, very streaky team. So is it time for them to start a win streak? Potentially. This could be a spot where the Bulls get a win. Now, the Bulls lost Vucevic. The Bulls have so many players questionable or out. This is why you can't bet on a lot of NBA games right now, and you have to just wait. They got Usman, who is questionable, Dosunmu questionable, Josh Giddey is out. Jaden Ivey, questionable, obviously, to maybe have his starting game. Trey Jones, questionable. Julian Phillips, questionable. Colin Sexton, questionable. Anthony Simons, questionable. So, a lot of players out, a lot of trades that they've done. Obviously, they don't have Vucevic, so they're starting 5 looking a little bit tough right now. This lost Kobe White as well. I forgot about Kobe White. Kobe White to the Hornets. What do y'all think about Kobe White to the Hornets? Because I do not like that trade very much. I just don't feel like, unless the Hornets are about to get rid of LaMelo or something, which definitely has potential, unless they're getting rid of some of these other players, I just don't see how Kobe White fits that team. But maybe he does. Maybe they make some more trades, and that was the pickup for Kobe White, was to replace one of their players they currently have. But right now, I just feel like they have so many mouths to feed anyway, especially scorers, to where it's just not like Kobe White's just not the guy for the team, in my personal opinion. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. A little bit of time left. We can figure it out. Toronto, quickly, Ingram, Barrett, Barnes, and Colin Murray-Boyle starting, pretty much the whole starting 5. They do have Trace Jackson-Davis now. Trace Davis is questionable. Jakob Poeltl is out, and then Hepburn is also out. So picking up Trace Davis, I think this could help this Raptors team a little bit. Obviously, he may not play tonight. He may play tonight. We don't know what's going to happen. In terms of winning this game, give me the Raptors, man. They're on a back-to-back. The Bulls just don't have anybody. I don't see the Bulls winning this game unless the players from the Raptors get ruled out. If that happens, then, yeah, the Bulls have some chances here. But it's going to be Toronto here. So right now I'm looking at Toronto with the Hawks maybe in a parlay for around minus 140-ish odds is probably what that ends up being. But we'll see what happens. I like Toronto here, though, and I do like Brandon Ingram. Once again, a guy who's been putting up 20 shots a game, Brandon Ingram, in terms of a decently high-scoring game against a fast-paced team. I think Ingram could definitely catch us out. Next game on the slate, this is one of the big ones. We have the Hornets taking on the Rockets. This one's in Houston. We just saw Houston get beat by the Celtics. Hornets are on a 7-game win streak. Right now, Houston is favored. They are minus 138, 3.5 spread, 217.5 total. Most of the money right now going to be on the Hornets for good reason based off the way they've been playing. Now, there are people in my Discord who are all over the Hornets. We got to take Hornets money line. I've said this last 2 times. Ever since the Spurs and the Pelicans game, I thought the Pelicans were going to beat them. The Pelicans had them beat. The Pelicans were up 22 points in this last game versus the Hornets and threw their lead. The Pelicans shot 2 for 17 in the fourth quarter with like 2 minutes left. They hit 2 for 17 shots. Gave the game away. I don't think the Rockets are going to do that. The Rockets, if they get a lead, they're not going to give it away. Now, the Rockets shot 90. They had 93 points last night. They had like 50 points in the third quarter. The Rockets were not shooting well. KD had like 4 or 6 points or something at halftime. He picked it up the second half. They played better. They lost by 21 points. Now, I think the Celtics are just as good as the Hornets. So I don't think the Hornets are like some dominant team that will just wax the Celtics. I think that game's coin flip as well. The Hornets have been playing very good basketball, and their starting 5 has looked freaking phenomenal. I'll be honest with you. Kobe White's questionable. I'm not even going to try to say his name. Questionable. KJ Simpson out. Tyrus Jones questionable. Mike Conley obviously questionable. They just picked up Mike Conley, so maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. Houston's missing Steven Adams, Dorian Finney-Smith, and then Fred VanVleet. Now, for this game, I think we need to wait till closer to game time, because it would not surprise me if Durant or something just randomly got ruled out. And if Durant gets ruled out, then I'm cool with taking Charlotte. Now, if you want to take Charlotte for plus 140, I don't think that's a bad bet. But I do think Charlotte's they're due for a loss. I think the loss is coming. I thought the Spurs would do it. The Spurs kept it close. Pelicans had them beat, like I said, through it. The Rockets at home, they have a 77% win rate. They do not get beat very often at home. I don't know if you can set this to back-to-back, days of rest, back-to-back. Yeah, so they only have one home game back-to-back. That was versus Minnesota, and they beat them. So not very many of those they get. They've only had one this season. So right now, I'm leaning the Rockets, man. The Rockets at even money, I think, is just going to be the more consistent team. The Hornets have been up and down. Yeah, they're playing hot right now, but the Rockets are still, for me, right now, the better team. The Hornets, give them a season or two, and I think we might change our minds on that because they have a lot of young talent. We'll see how these trades affect them. But right now, I do think the Rockets are the better team. We'll see what happens. Give me the Rockets in this game. If I get shut up by the Hornets, I'm not a Hornets hater. I support the Hornets. Hornets are the closest team to me other than the Hawks. It's about an even. I'm like in the middle between Atlanta and Charlotte. I support the Hornets because that's just the team that I've, since a kid, other than the Lakers, have liked because we live close to them. So I'm going to support the Hornets again. They're a team I hope that does well, but in terms of where the money's at, I don't think that they're the team that people are thinking they are as of right now. So give me the Rockets. Next game on the slate is going to be the Mavericks taking on the Spurs. You have the Mavericks plus 257 underdogs at home, a 7.5 spread, a 228 total. Right now, almost all the money is going to be on the Spurs. Now, the Spurs are on a back-to-back. They just beat OKC. They didn't beat OKC in dominant fashion. OKC missing every player. The Spurs barely beat them. Look at the Spurs. They're missing Dylan Harper. David Jones-Garcia obviously out. Kelly Olynyk is out. Sohan is out. And then Lindy Waters is out as of right now. On the Dallas side of things, it's another team that has so many new faces and missing things that you just don't know what to do. Marvin Bagley might play. Malachi Branham might play. Daniel Gafford might play. A.J. Johnson might play. Chris Middleton might play. And then Brandon Williams might play. Obviously, P.J. Washington, Kyrie, and Derek Lively are out. Right now, Gafford is out as well. Did I say Gafford? Yeah, Gafford is out or potentially out as well. So starting five looking kind of tough. Playing against a dominant team in the Spurs. Dallas at home has been decent, 48% win rate. They've lost 4 straight at home, though, so they've lately looked a little bit bad. But before that, look at Dallas's little win streak they were on. They were dominant at home and beating almost every team. Beat Detroit, beat Denver, beat Houston. They beat a lot of good teams at home. So Dallas is definitely a team that can pick up a win right here tonight. Definitely live dogs. I'm looking at Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg's been playing a very, very good basketball. I'm expecting it again. With all this money on the Spurs, it wouldn't surprise me if the Mavericks upset the Spurs, and I'm okay with potentially taking a chance at it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to wait, see if some of these players get ruled in. But as of right now, I do think Dallas are live dogs. So Spurs a better team for sure. If I had to pick right now, and it was like, right now, your life is on the line, which team would you take? I'd take the Spurs. But in terms of where putting my money and being smart with my money for the odds, I think Dallas is a decent bet. Next game on the slate is going to be Phoenix taking on Golden State. The Suns are minus 200 favorites at home, 5.5 spread, 214.5 total. So most of the money going to be on Phoenix. Golden State, let's talk about this team. They have lost two straight games. They are missing Jimmy Butler. They have a questionable Crier. Seth Curry is out. Steph Curry is out, and Porzingis is questionable, who they just picked up. Their starting five right now is Brandon Podds, Moody, Santos, Draymond, and Al Horford. Phoenix have a doubtful Devin Booker and a questionable Jalen Green. Now, this team without Booker has still looked very, very good as of lately. They got beat pretty bad by the Clippers. They come out, beat Portland in Portland the next game, but they beat Detroit, they beat Cleveland, they beat the Nets. They beat some okay teams even without Devin Booker. So I'm expecting Phoenix to come out here and get a win at home tonight. Phoenix at home has been, let me see what their win rate at home is actually. I think they've been better at home. Yeah, 71% win rate at home. Not very many teams can beat them at home. So I'm expecting the Suns to have another win. I don't think the Warriors take it from them tonight, but most of the money is going to be on Phoenix. Makes it a little bit sketchy. Golden State could definitely upset Phoenix, especially if the Suns come out there and they start shooting like hot ass. It could definitely happen. So right now, give me the Suns. I think the Suns win the game. Last game on the slate, probably one of the most competitive games on the slate and one of the better ones to bet on is going to be the Lakers taking on the Sixers. LA minus 163 favorites at home, 4.5 spread, 233.5 total right now, about a 50-50 split where the money is. Looking at these teams, Sixers have won 5 straight games, looking very strong right now. Beat the Clippers. The Clippers really the only strong win in there. They beat Golden State, but Golden State was full of injuries. That was on a back-to-back for them as well, so they didn't end up winning that game. Looking at Philly, they have Embiid questionable. Embiid didn't play the last game. Embiid's one of those players. He usually plays, then he sits. That's how it goes. So Embiid's questionable. Probably going to play. I'm going to put some bets in on Embiid. If he gets ruled out, it is what it is. It'll just be a refund. But Embiid questionable. Paul George still on suspension. Lakers side of things, really, Thiero's the only one out. So they have Reeves back. We'll see how many minutes Reeves gets. I'm not real sure on that. But they have their pretty much starting 5. So this game can go either way. The Lakers have a 61% win rate. They've been decent at home, 60% win rate. So starting the season when they're all healthy, they've looked pretty dang good. I mean, that was without LeBron for a little bit. I can't remember when LeBron came back, sometime in November. But they've looked strong. Lately, they haven't been the best, but they are kind of hit or miss. Now, the Sixers team, strong as well. This game's coin flip. This game I don't have a great read on. I literally could see it going anyway. It really just depends on which version of the Lakers we get and if Embiid plays. If Embiid sits, Lakers are going to win, in my opinion. If Embiid plays this game, I'm kind of leaning the Sixers for plus money. But Lakers fully healthy, man. That's my team. The Lakers are my team. It's hard for me to root against them. So I don't want to be biased on this. I try to bet without having any type of bias or any type of emotional aspect in the game, but it is what it is. That game's coin flipped. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. If you're in the Discord, you'll get a play for that game for sure, just to be sweaty and have something to sweat tonight. But right now, if Embiid plays, I'm kind of leaning the Sixers, but it's only because it's plus money. If the Lakers were plus money, I'd be leaning the Lakers. So this is just where the value is at. But anyways, that's what I have for these games. I am going to jump into some player props. We're going to lock in some slips live on Parlay Play, and hopefully we can continue the streak we're on because we've been dominating Parlay Play. So the first thing I want to say before we jump into these plays, if you guys do want to get a free month of our VIP, you can sign up for any partnered app in the description. Those partnered apps are listed. There are 7 apps. Each app will give you 1 month. You can get up to 7 full months for free. Now, the app we have been dominating on, Parlay Play, we have hit 5 straight slips. 4 of those slips have been posted on YouTube. If you want to tell the slips, sign up with code Fantasy Aces on Parlay Play. They will give you $5 for free to bet with. So you have $5 in promo funds regardless. And you get a deposit match up to $100. If you put $100 in, they'll double it up to $200. You can do any amount. You can do $33 and get $66, whatever you feel like putting in. As long as you put in $10, you get free VIP. So for a full month. So if you want to take advantage of that, links down in the description. We'd love to have you a part of our community as well. New faces are always welcome. If you have any questions or need help with anything, and this is for anybody that's in VIP. If you need help with your bankroll, I will legitimately help you. There has been hundreds of people over the last year that just joined VIP and they're like, hey man, what's this unit? How do I do this? How do I set up my unit size? And I tell you, I'll give you any advice that I can possibly help you with. So that's part of the Discord as well. We'd love to have you guys in there. And like I said, any app in the description. Sleeper, Parlay Play, Underdog, Chalkboard, Better, Novig, Dabble, any of those apps. But that being said, let's go and jump into some free picks. Let's lock in some players. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Let's get this going. So the first pick that I had, another benefit about Parlay Play, they have a lot of promos. This one's a promo. It's Michael Porter Jr. for 20 points. Now, you guys know how I feel about Porter Jr. MPJ's the guy. He's the one who's made me the most money over any player this season so far, and I'm going to continue running with him. 20 points is nothing for Michael Porter Jr. for the amount of volume he puts up. So, looking at Porter, his line's 24.5. You're getting a 5-point discount at 19.5. He's cashed 8 of his last 10. He's cashed it 30 of 39 games on the season. He averages 25 points per game. Look at his shot attempts. He's averaging 19 field goal attempts per game on the season. Last 5, he's averaging 20. So he had a game versus the Nuggets. He put up 28 points. Obviously, the Nuggets are his former team, so of course he's going to put up big numbers versus them. He had 18 his last game versus the Lakers, and they got beat by 20. He played 32 minutes. So his minutes on the season are averaging 33. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging 32.9. Obviously, if they get beat by 40, like they have a couple of games, they got beat by 50 by the Knicks, he's not going to get huge minutes. But in those games, he had 14 and 11 field goal attempts still. So I know that's not a lot, but he's still, for very little minutes, it's a lot of field goal attempts. 14 in 25 minutes. So I'm expecting at least 20 shots tonight. I think this is going to be a game where he is going to be relied on. I think this is a game where the Nets can potentially upset the Magic. Now, I think the Magic are the better team and they're going to win overall. But I do think this game has potential to be competitive. So give me Michael Porter Jr. for 20 points. I don't think there's much more explanation that needs to be from a guy who's taking 20-plus shots per game. 20 points is not that many, especially when he's getting free throws and he's getting three-pointers as well. So give me MPJ for 19.5 points. Now, I'm running this as a 3-man slip, a 3-man goblin slip. Who am I running them with? I'm going to take a chance on Brandon Ingram. Now, I know Ingram's on a back-to-back, but his line is very low at PRA at 24.5. Now, you could take his points. You could take his PRA at 29.5. His original line is going to be around 29.5. I'm buying him down to 24.5. This is not going to be a high payout, but it is a line that is so low that Ingram can honestly almost cash this line in points alone. So his point line is 20.5. His regular PRA line is 31.5. We're getting it at 24.5. Now, this puts us at a 1.5x. Brandon Ingram's cashed this 9 of his last 10. He's averaging 31. He has cashed his 42 of 50 games on the season, which is an 84% hit rate, averaging 31.5. In his head-to-head, he had 42 his only game versus Chicago. This is a game versus Chicago, decently fast-paced. The total in this game is not projected to be very high, but Chicago plays no defense. It's in Toronto. I do think the Raptors win this game. Look at the stats here from the Raptors or from the Bulls. They give up pretty much more stats than any other team in the league. It's a guy that's putting up, let's see here, 17.4 field goal attempts per game on the season, and he's putting up 17.7 per game in his last 20. So you can see a lot of these games he's getting 20 plus. Like, this is not a very high line. He does gets a lot of assists, a decent amount of rebounds some games. So Ingram for 24.5. Not much more needs to be said about that. It should be a line that gets cashed unless it just becomes an extreme blowout. Even in a blowout, I think Ingram cashes that. So, anyways, next game or last play for this slip is going to be our man Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen is going to be the bread and butter of this Jazz team. Now, the thing about Lauri Markkanen right now, I'm taking him for 20 points. Very low line. He's averaging 26 over his last 10 games. Had a couple of games where he hooked this line. He's cashed this in 81% of games on the season. They are missing Keontae George. This game could potentially get ugly. It could potentially be a blowout. I do think with the state of the NBA right now that it's hard to just consider every game going to be a blowout. I think you have to look at a lot of these underdogs and expect them to keep it competitive right now, which is what I'm doing. So I'm expecting the Jazz to keep this competitive enough with Atlanta where Lauri Markkanen gets at least 20 points. Now, he is putting up a lot of shots, 19 shots per game. He just put 19 up in his last game, and he only played 26.9 minutes. Now, I'm not sure about his minutes in this game. I'm not sure what happened there, why his minutes were so low. I don't know if he was in foul trouble. I have no idea. How many fouls did he have? One foul. He wasn't in foul trouble. So I'm not sure why his minutes were cut there. Not sure if they were just resting him a little bit. I'm not 100%. I'm hoping he still gets his regular allotment of minutes because that game was competitive. I can't remember the script of this game. Were the Jazz up like 20-something points and then like Lauri was sitting and the Pacers just brought it back against the bench maybe? I'm not real sure. That was the game where Isaiah Collier played 48 minutes. Yeah, Collier played the whole game, so I'm not sure what the minutes were for Markkanen here. So there is a little bit of risk here for his minutes. I'm hoping he gets 30 minutes this game. If he gets 26, again, it can be a little bit sweaty, but 20 points is not that very many. Not that many for a man Markkanen. He's cashed it a majority of games. Last season, he didn't cash it as many, but he's been killing it, and I'm expecting him to do this once again. So give me Lauri Markkanen for 20 points. And that should put us at a 1.9x. It does. $250 will win us $472. $230 profit. I locked it in. We're going to refresh here to show you guys it is legit. We have been locking these in live. Michael Porter Jr., Brandon Ingram, and Lauri Markkanen locked in as our first slip of the day. For the second slip of the day, we are going to be jumping over to our man Embiid. I told you guys I'm putting some money on Embiid. I'm taking a risk with him tonight. If you don't like the play, fade this one. This one is the riskier slip in my personal opinion. I think this one could potentially go south. I think that the other slip has a higher chance of hitting, but I do like this slip a lot. So I'm taking Embiid for 25 points. He's averaging 31 points per game on his last 10, and then he's averaging 30 points per game in his last 20. He's cashed this line 75% of games. He just hooked it the last game versus the Clippers. They're going against the Lakers. Last game versus the Lakers, he had 16 points. He put up 21 field goal attempts and shot 19%. 19%. Embiid does not shoot 19%. You can look at his field goal percent here. 52% field goal percentage over his last 20 games. Dude does not shoot 19%. He puts up 20 shots tonight versus the Lakers, and he's going to cash this line. Versus centers, they don't give up many points, one of the fewest in the league, but I just don't think that Embiid is going to go under this. I just have a feeling Embiid has a big game. He's been playing very good. This could be a game where Maxey takes over and Embiid doesn't do anything, but Embiid does have those games every once in a while, but I do expect 25 points from him. I'm going to take a chance on him tonight, and I like Embiid, so lock him in if you like him. Who am I pairing him with? I'm going to pair him with their man Cooper Flagg. Now, I'm taking Cooper Flagg, and I am taking his 34.5 PRA. This is the riskier one in my opinion. This is the one where it gets a little bit sketchy because Cooper Flagg has been playing dominant. 62, 51, and 51 PRA in his last 3 games. Now, the dude has got the confidence. Look at his shot attempts. He was shooting 15 to 20 per game, 20 being his peak. He's shooting 30 shots a game almost. 20, 29, 25, 24. So his shot volume is through the roof. He's been playing so well that I'm expecting him to continue to play well. Like, Cooper Flagg is fighting for that Rookie of the Year. Like, he's up there. Him and Knuppel, I think, are the two that are fighting for it right now. And he continues playing like this, he can legitimately win this game now, or win. Now, I will say Knuppel is fighting on a team that has a lot more mouths to feed, whereas Cooper Flagg is kind of like the guy right now, so I think that matters a lot, and you have to take that into consideration when you're choosing Rookie of the Year. But regardless, man, I like Cooper Flagg here. His hit rate on the season has not been good at all, 28%. He's averaging 31 PRA, but the way he's been playing And the way that he's just got that confidence right now with 23 field goal attempts per game, I'm okay with taking a shot on him at 34.5 PRA. If he chalks me, he chalks me. I'll learn my lesson. There's a lot of players, like I said, that you have to wait on to see who plays for this Dallas team. But Cooper Flagg right now, 34.5 PRA is a one. This went up in value, I think. I don't think the value was this high earlier. Hold on. Okay, something happened. Hold on. Whoa. We got to check something, and I'm gonna tell you why. Flagg earlier, his regular line for points was 23.5 for the same value, so it's come down a point. Did somebody get ruled in? A lot of people playing the unders, maybe. That puts us at a 2.3x. That wasn't what I was. They're making it hard on me again because the line has moved quite a bit. This was like a 1.9x a minute ago, which slightly worries me. I don't know what's going on with that. If I can get some other play, I mean, 22.5 points is not bad either. It's the same payout, right? 1.82. 22.5 points might be the move. He's been scoring more than he's been facilitating, really. 34 points, 49 points. It is versus the Spurs. Maybe they're predicting a blowout here, too. I mean, we could take Cooper Flagg down to like 18 and play another 3-man. We really could do that because his line moving scares me. I literally was like almost locked it in earlier at 34.5. But that line movement, somebody get ruled in for the... I don't think so. I don't think there's anything different there. Maybe I'm overlooking something. But yeah, his line has completely changed in terms of value. Like the value has definitely went down in terms of 34.5 was like a 1 point. This 34.5 was a 1.5x. So it's up to a 1.8x now, which does scare me. So we might go with Flagg 18 points and then play it with something else. What's another player? Let's go over here to games. Let's find a game that has a good matchup. We could look at Phoenix versus Golden State potentially. Anybody on Golden State we could potentially target, or Phoenix. We could look at Grayson Allen or Colin Gillespie or even Dylan Brooks. Let's look at Grayson Allen. He's been averaging around 23 points per game without Booker. Sorry for rambling a little bit, but that kind of it worries me when value changes like that. It makes me want to reconsider, which is what I recommend everybody do. If you see something change like that, something happened to where the value changed, whether it's a lot of people putting the money on the under or some type of player news came out. And legitimately, it might be where I didn't refresh too. Let me refresh. Let me refresh this and go back to that Dallas game and see if there's another player ruled in. It still looks exactly the same. Okay. I mean, we could play another really safe play from another game and lock it in and be okay with that. Let's find, we could do somebody from the Hawks, maybe Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson points or something. Let's see what Jalen Johnson's lines are. We're on Jalen Johnson for 19.5. What about 17.5? 1.76. I could play that and it'd be safe. Jalen Johnson's point line look okay at 18 points, 17.5. He's been kind of killing it. He's been putting up almost 20 field goal attempts per game over his last 20. He's averaging right at 18.4. Cashed it 75% of games. It's a head-to-head matchup versus the Jazz. The Jazz should be one of those teams where you can put up big numbers on. So I do think this is a good line. The value just went up again. It went to a 1.78x. I might play this. Like, listen, if you want to play Jalen Johnson at 20, you can get a double up. I'm going to play it at 18.5 just to play, or 17.5 just to keep it. In my notes, this slip was originally Cooper Flagg 34.5, Embiid 24.5. And that line was just a two-man slip. So I had to kind of change it on the fly. So this is not what I originally thought I was going to lock in. But Cooper Flagg for 17.5 is a way better line than 35 PRA anyway. But still, the value changing, I'm just going to trust my gut here, and I'm not going to play what I was going to play. So that's what I got. Instead of a 2-man and 3-man, we got 2 3-man plays. Taking Jalen Johnson points, Flag points, and then Embiid points. We're going to lock them in. Hopefully Embiid, I think Embiid's the scariest one on this slip now. Hopefully Embiid has a good game and cashes us out. If you don't like one of the plays, just fade them, guys. You don't have to tell everything I do. This payout's not going to be as high. It's 500 risk to profit 417. Hopefully we hit. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Hopefully you catch every single slip. If you need any help with anything, send me a message on Discord. I'll get you in, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see y'all in the next one.